All right, welcome to This Explainer. If you've been feeling like the online world is just getting increasingly hostile lately, especially with artificial intelligence popping up everywhere, well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to demystify exactly what's causing this high friction state across the modern internet. More importantly, we're going to build a tactical playbook for your digital survival. We'll look at the raw intelligence behind all this tension and give you some very actionable strategies to protect your digital workspace.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off by exploring the AI populist revolt, the wealth concentration matrix, and decoding audience AI friction. From there, we'll pivot to defensive tactics, covering the First Amendment paradox, zero engagement defense, and finally, sovereign human AI collaboration.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the AI populist revolt. To really understand why audiences are so incredibly angry in comment sections right now, we have to look at the structural, macroeconomic anxieties that are driving this behavior. Think about this number for a second, 1.5 million signatures. That massive number represents a historic populist breaking point for a California ballot initiative pushed by labor unions, and their goal? A one-time 5% wealth tax on billionaires to remedy job displacement driven by AI. You see, this isn't just some fringe movement anymore. It's a very concrete indicator of widespread public anxiety over automation and economic stability.
And honestly, the tech elites, they are absolutely terrified of a systemic social backlash. Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, put it pretty pragmatically. He basically said that if the tech industry doesn't help design controlled wealth redistribution, they'll inevitably get a bad version designed by a mob. They are actively abandoning traditional free market narratives right now, and it's not out of pure philanthropy either. It's for tactical survival in the face of all this populist anger.
Moving on to Section 2, the wealth concentration matrix. Let's look at the underlying financial reality that's creating this explosive environment. The public is operating under intense, and I mean intense, household stress. Personal savings have literally cratered to a 4-year low of just 2.6%. To put that into perspective, people are running on empty. When you combine the massive, multi-billion-dollar expansion of AI data centers with an everyday public whose financial safety net is just evaporating, you create a very distinct, very volatile point of friction. In response to this, industry leaders are pitching what we might call shared abundance strategies. They're trying to create a digital safety net to prevent a totally angry electorate. You have Jeff Bezos floating a 0% federal tax for the bottom 50% of earners. Elon Musk is pitching universal high-income checks funded by robotic productivity. And then you have OpenAI's Sam Altman advocating for universal basic compute. Yes, literally handing out slices of server processing power to citizens instead of cash. It's wild, but this is where we're at. Ultimately, this creates a vicious cycle, a total velocity loop. The massive AI data center boom accelerates automated labor displacement, which in turn pushes the national savings rate down even further. All the productivity gains are funneled to this hyper-narrow tier of founders, while legacy jobs just disappear. It creates the exact populist flashpoint we're witnessing today, and it's drastically accelerating the timeline for domestic friction.
Bringing this closer to home, let's hit Section 3, decoding audience AI friction.
So, how does this massive societal stress actually manifest on your independent business page when you decide to use an AI tool? Well, when an organization uses AI, it triggers immediate defensiveness. Audiences associate the tool with 3 main things. First, the erasure of the human element. That authentic connection just feels broken to them. Second, an association with centralized, technocratic censorship. And third, the dead internet reality. That dystopian feeling that everyone online is just an automated bot trying to sell you something. The key takeaway here, they aren't rejecting you personally, they're rejecting what they fear the technology represents.
This social media backlash generally falls into a 3-tier system. At the lowest level, people are just curious, maybe mildly skeptical, and they'll leave simple inquiries. It's highly manageable. At moderate friction, you start seeing accusations of laziness or sudden drops in organic engagement because they feel that human-to-human bond fading. But at high friction, that's when you face boycotts and claims of hypocrisy. This stems from a deep ideological fear that your organization has been completely compromised by a technocratic agenda.
Which leads us to Section 4, the First Amendment paradox. As this macro-level friction spills over into uninvited toxic comments on your specific business pages, we really need to address the legal realities of platform moderation. Disgruntled users frequently claim you are violating their First Amendment rights by hiding their toxic comments.
We hear this all the time, right? But the state action doctrine completely strips away this camouflage. The Constitution limits government censorship. It absolutely does not regulate your private business conduct. Let's clear up the myth versus the reality here. The myth is that users have an unalienable right to post disruption wherever they want. The reality, cemented by landmark Supreme Court rulings like the NetChoice precedent, is that your digital spaces are exactly that, private property. You are not running a government-mandated public forum. You hold an absolute, legally protected right to edit, curate, or completely erase content that fails your internal standards. In fact, if you allow bad faith actors to dump toxic commentary on your LinkedIn or Facebook pages, you are actually sacrificing your own constitutional protections. Being forced to host profanity against your will is legally considered compelled speech. Essentially, the law recognizes that your brand's page is your voice, and there is no way you can be legally forced to host someone else's toxic behavior. So, what do we actually do about it? Section 5, Zero Engagement Perimeter Defense. With the legal authority firmly established, here is the tactical directive for handling these encounters. When a toxic comment comes in, you face a stark choice node. If you engage, you feed the algorithm, spike the tension, and drain your own mental focus. It's a net negative ROI. But if you simply erase or hide the comment, you starve the troll, protect your brand, and give the algorithms absolutely zero lift to spread the chaos. Zero engagement is, for sure, your absolute best defense. Think of your business page like your physical office lobby. If someone walks into your building shouting obscenities, you don't pull up a chair, offer them a coffee, and debate them, right? No, you escort them past the security perimeter. Hiding or erasing comments starves that algorithmic beast that thrives on emotional friction. It preserves your B2B integrity, which is huge for institutional trust on networks like LinkedIn. And most importantly, it conserves your operational energy. All right, final piece of the puzzle. Section 6, Sovereign Human AI Collaboration. So if we aren't going to debate the trolls, how do we transparently communicate our legitimate, positive use of AI to our actual, authentic community? To reassure your base, you need to follow 3 strategic steps to prove your foundation is built on collaboration, not technocratic oppression. First, demystify the tool. Second, preserve the authentic human core. And third, explicitly frame AI as an independent equalizer. Adopting the open hood posture is incredibly effective here. Pop the hood, openly explain that AI is just a sophisticated piece of equipment. It's like a digital tractor, synthesizing raw data. By framing it this way, you completely eliminate the technocratic mystique. Show your community that you're using this advanced tool to level the playing field, giving your independent business the exact same analytical depth as a massive centralized corporation. And here is the ultimate takeaway. AI is a research accelerator. It can crunch massive global data sets and pierce through administrative fog in seconds. But your terminal presentation, that ultimate connection point with your audience, must always, always retain raw, authentic human oversight, ground truth observation, and final judgment. The AI crunches the data, sure, but you deliver the heart. So I want to leave you with this thought. In an era of AI populist revolts, intense wealth concentration, and toxic algorithmic traps, how will you adapt? It's time to lock that digital perimeter, conserve your operational energy through zero engagement moderation, and boldly lead your community with transparent, authentic human authority.